Hi everyone, Diane here, welcome to my studio. Hope everyone's well. Today I thought I'd take everybody's advice and paint something that I fancied painting. I always do actually, but anyway, today I'm going to have a go at painting a beautiful red cardinal. And here we have my practice version. Actually, that's not quite true. I've been practicing with birds quite a lot lately in my little autumn sketchbook here, which I've put together. If you've got a long-armed stapler, you can easily staple together, just by folding it in half, some paper, and lo and behold, you have a sketchbook. I was going to order some online, and then I thought, oh my goodness, I've got so much paper lying around, I should make my own. So I've just done some writing on the front here saying autumn 2023, and then I've been practicing painting just with a brush with no lines, just literally drawing with the brush, birds in flight, which I think is quite an interesting thing to do. And then on this one here, I was beginning to work it up a little bit and do some loose, non-realistic lines and things to make them a little bit more interesting. And then before I knew where I was, I found myself playing around with the idea of a red bird, which started off as a robin and turned into a cardinal. And then I did this, which is just the idea being to draw with a brush, with paint, a bird in the middle and then surround it with kind of shadowy figures. So that was another idea, but I'm not going to do that today. Today I'm going to paint this. This is a piece of rather nice watercolor paper, actually. This is Hahnemühle, rough grain, which is actually not... Can you see the grain? I hope that the camera is focusing on that. It's not very rough. It's nice. This is 140-pound paper, and it was very easy to paint on. It's a sample they sent me. So perhaps I should get hold of some of that. I don't know. I don't know if it's better than the Meaden paper. Which we will find out in a minute. Actually, having said that, and that this is on rough, I've done a drawing here, and this is on smooth. This is on hot press paper, so it's not going to come out quite the same as this, but we'll see. Anyway, so then I'm thinking about colours, and here I swatched out all the reds in my Kuretake set, and having done that, I thought to myself, maybe I should try the traditional colours and see what happens there and whether or not they're going to be better or worse. So I took some cadmium red. This is Dale Rowney's Artist's Quality, which is good quality, and that's this one. And immediately I see that it is almost exactly identical, the same as cadmium Scarlet from Kuretake. And then this one here is alizarin Crimson, and that's very, very, very similar to Rose Madder Deep. So either way, I'm going to today use alizarin Crimson and cadmium red from my artist's range, plus intense black, but you could use the Kuretake colours instead, or Cotman, or any other brand at all whatsoever in the slightest. It's just that to get the right colours of red, you need this hot red and a cool red. Hot red, cool red, and black. Okay, so I've got my palette here, which has got plenty of mixing space on it, and I'm just going to put out a little bit of paint because it's surprising how little you need for something like this. So we just put a little dab of red there. That's cadmium red from Dale Rowney. British company, still makes their paints in England. I'm going to try and get hold of some more of those because I haven't bought any of them for years. I think the last time I bought Dale Rowney, I was living in Calgary. And then a little bit of black I'll put down here. Okay, so the sketch for this will be available on dianeantone.com on the website for free. You just need to go along there, look for free downloads, and you'll find the sketch there. But I will do the sketch, but I'm going to do it at the end of this video. So rather than starting with it, I'm going to do it at the end. So now I'm going to sit down and just check that you can see what I'm doing. And I don't know what I'm going to do for the branch that he's standing on yet, not quite sure. Could put some pine needles or something like that, or some berries. I might just leave it fairly simple, actually, for this particular one. So anyway, so I'm not going to pre-wet it. I'm just going to paint wet onto dry and sort of try and build it up. And if I go over the black area, the mask around his face, it doesn't really matter. So the main thing just is I'm using a Craft & Mo brush, one of my ones that's going to be available from the middle of November now, is what they've told us. And so I'm just going to paint a circle, rough circle around his eye, and just put this red all over. Don't worry too much about the lines, but I think it's probably sensible to use a good amount of paint so that it's nice and red, because after all, he is Cardinal. So I'll just pop that in all like that. And then I'm going to take some of the other red, and not too much water. Where's my one that I did earlier? It's gone. There he is. And then just add the dark red in various places, not everywhere. Leave some areas light, so like here, but I'm going to put the dark red on his back and on his underneath. And we'll try to sort of vary that a bit. And then I'm going to add a smidgen of black and have some sort of dark areas right down the bottom here. And then a bit more over here on his shoulder. And then we're going to let it dry however it wants to dry. I'm just a bit concerned I haven't gone quite far enough up there. So, yes. Okay, and then we'll take our black and, yeah, we're just going to paint in the mask. It doesn't matter if you've got a fairly big brush, as long as it's got a good point like that. Because you can get the details with the point. So we'll take the black up to his eye, like that. And I'm going to let that dry before I do the bit around the back there. And then we've got sort of a little bit of dark here. I'm just going to very sketchily, because I am a little bit lazy about things like feet and legs. I think the legs are reddish. But the feet are probably more on the black side. Having said that, that's probably a bit too dark, so just lift a bit of that out. Spread that around a bit. And we can always come in and do a little bit more shadow areas later if we want to. That's gone down a little bit further than I wanted it actually, so I'll try and lift that up a bit. And when that's dry, we can go over it a bit with more red. And then for the beak, we'll have a light red, and I'm going to make sure I don't make it too dark and leave a significant light patch. And we can put a line in for the where the beak overlaps. We can put that in once it's a little bit dry, so we'll just leave that like that. And then I want some slightly greyish red, but not too dark, for the tail, which we just want to indicate down here behind the branch that he's standing on. We don't want that to be too accurate. And then I'm going to put in some grey for the branch, just really quite loosely. Maybe we'll put another one across behind him. And then a little bit more, just a touch of black underneath, which will quite nicely spread into the pinkish colour of the branch there. And then I'm going to just touch in his eye, making sure we leave plenty of white at the top, like that. And then I'm going to dry it and come back and see whether we need to do anything else. I'll leave that black paint on my brush. Now, just for the purposes of the details on the beak, I'm going to switch to a smaller brush just to make it a bit easier. Because I'm doing it on camera, I'm bound to make some terrible mistake. So we'll just make the underneath a little bit darker. And when that's dry, another little touch here as well. And then, since I've got this brush in my hands, I'll come into the leg and reinforce what's down here. Don't want too many details, because details are not me. I'm not looking for realism. Well, that's not quite true. I mean, a certain amount of realism here, but not much. And then we can add a few more strokes of this and that and the other to the branch. Okay, so we can add a few sort of, oh yes, that's what I was going to do there. I was going to go over that red, wasn't I? And we'll just pick up some nice dark red. And correct that. So that's okay. And then what have we got on here? This colour. We could add a few little fidgets. And I think we won't fuss with that too much, because that's actually worked out reasonably well. a little bit down there, perhaps to make him stand out a bit. A few more lines on the branch. And you could very most definitely, I'm not going to do this now because I wanted to get this done reasonably quickly, because my dear husband, who is supposed to be traveling on Wednesday to Egypt for business, has, I think, come down with COVID, which means there's a very good chance that me and Tamsin are going to get it too. So I wanted to prepare a few videos so that we can put something up for you, even if we are languishing. Yeah, so we see, we're going to get tested today and see what happens. So there we are, one Cardinal. I think he's okay. I could do a little bit more on his beak. The beak on this one came out rather well, I thought. Looks quite chunky and, significant. But yeah, if I were you and I was taking this a bit further, I would put in some pine needles and stuff like that to make it really Christmassy. So I'll go ahead now and do the sketch for you and in pencil, and then you'll be able to go and pick that up from the place where you pick these things up, which is our website. So I'll be back in a second. So the top of the head is here, and we're going to come down like this and then come out for the beak and then come down to the top. And then you can, these look better, these birds, if they're kind of little bit rounded. So basically it's an oval for the body shape, but a little bit rounder than oval, if you know what I mean. And then the mask is round like that, and then the eye is sitting in here like that. And then the mask goes all the way down here and up to here. So basically, you could start off with an oval like that, and then you have, I decided to do one leg coming down like that, and the other one really very close in, and then the twig that he's sitting on coming up through there like that. And we should put his beak in there like that. And then his tail comes down behind the trunk, the branch like that. And you can put another branch in if you want. But there we are. So I actually think that beak is a bit too big. So we'll rub that out. And don't hesitate to change things. There we are, that's better. I can come down like that. Make his eye a little bit bigger. And you could make him fat if you want to. If you want to make him a little bit more whimsical, you could make him a little bit fatter. Like that. It's up to you. But anything like that will do. Don't be too picky about it. You know it's all about having fun. So there we are. And just to remind you, that's what he will look like. So I'll let you go. See you over on the website. And don't forget to like and subscribe. See you again soon. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye.